Hi, my name is Ellen Heed, and I'm a sex educator, a body worker, and a teacher. I wear a lot of different hats. I teach anatomy for yoga teachers all over the world, have been doing it for about the last 12 years. I teach sexological body work, techniques and theory, and how to work with scar tissue to somatic professionals also worldwide. I'm a holistic lifestyle consultant, and I work one-on-one with clients, helping them achieve a happier, healthier, more pleasurable life. What I'm here to talk to you today about is a class that I'll be teaching called Yoga for Better Sex. This is a new idea of bringing sexual information directly into the yoga studio and talking about the relationship between asana and how asana can actually improve your sexual performance, increase your pleasure, and increase your sexual functionality. Part of this class will be an asana practice with commentary, where one of my assistants will be leading an asana practice and I'll be interjecting commentary explaining how each and every pose directly affects our sexual function as humans, for both men and women. I'll also be talking in detail about women's sexual anatomy. Our lady bits are so amazing. We have fantastic capabilities for pleasure in a hugely ongoing way that are rarely tapped because lack of information prevents us from even knowing what's erotically possible. I'll also be talking about male sexual anatomy and male sexual function, how to increase sexual performance, how to decrease anxiety and have a better time during sex. I'll also be talking about sexual communication. This, among all, has been one of the most prevalent questions that my clients ask me. How do I talk to my partner about sex? I'm so embarrassed. I'll be talking about the appropriate language and the appropriate attitude to assume when you're having a sexual conversation. I'll be talking about special things about how to talk to each other during sex, how to talk to each other before you're involved in a sexual episode, and how to conduct what I call the post-game show, which is how to talk about a sexual event after the fact, to learn what can be learned from it and increase your pleasure the next time around. I'll also be talking about scar tissue and the devastating effects scar tissue can have on women after the birth of a child. 20% of women emerge from childbirth without injury. That means 80% of women have problems postpartum. And this is the elephant in the room that nobody's talking about these days that can really ruin your sex life. And I'll be talking about specific techniques that women can do to help themselves return to full sexual function 10, 15, even 20 years postpartum, not to mention in the immediate postpartum period. I hope you join me for this class. For more information, go to my website, www.ellenheed.com. I want to tell you a story about a woman who came to this class in Beijing. I was offering the class in November of 2010 in Beijing, and I was confronted rather aggressively by a student who came up to me, as sometimes happens in China, and said, well, my mother was a doctor and I know my anatomy, and I've been having perfectly good self-pleasuring for most of my life. What can you teach me in this class? And I said, well, why don't you stick around and find out? She had so many questions about information as it came pouring out about things she wasn't familiar with. And she came up to me at the end of the class, thanking me profusely with tears in her eyes, saying, I had no idea what I didn't know. Thank you so much. You've changed my life. And that's what I'm hoping will happen for everyone who comes to my classes, that you'll find a nugget of life-changing information that you can take and use in your sexual life. I answer questions that people bring to the class. So every class is different depending on who shows up. And I make sure in each module of the 5 that are offered in the class to spend lots of time with personal Q&A. And I want to make sure that every person's questions get answered to the level of detail that satisfies them. So please join me in Seattle at Kula Movement, April 9th through 11th. I'll see you there.